writing a book isn't difficult. It's all the other parts that are a bit of a problem. This time I'm using ChatGPT to help me write the book, and it's going very well so far. I've given myself a month to write the book, 2 weeks gone, and I've written about 10,000 words. Well, I guess I'm kind of behind schedule. It'll probably be 2 months by the time I've published it. But it's a nice experiment and it's great fun. I'm going to take you through the stages I went through. So the first stage is to come up with the idea. No surprises there. I've always written books about stuff I knew about. That's about becoming an entrepreneur. This was about traveling and living abroad while you're working online. So I went to ChatGPT. Don't really know what I know at the moment. So I thought I'd ask ChatGPT to help me. And it did. And this is how I did it. So this is the prompt I used to get the idea for what book to write. I specified a demographic and a gender and a part of the world. And I said what sort of book I could write, and I specified the book type. It's going to be a short non-fiction book sold in these formats in Amazon. And don't think of really popular ideas, because I would never be able to compete in those popular niches. But I asked specifically for quite small niches. And these are the results I got. And there were 2 or 3 that I thought were great. And I just immediately honed in on this one. Unlock your creative potential. I might not put Gen X men in the title. That was just to narrow it down. As soon as I saw that idea, I just thought, yeah, I can definitely write about that. So on to the next stage. And then I just asked for keywords. Just having the idea isn't good enough. I needed to keyword research to see if I could find a group of keywords where there was a little bit of interest online about it, but very poor competition, so I could compete in that area. And to do this, I just asked ChatGPT for keywords on the above subjects. I didn't narrow it down to the creative potential one, but there's the keywords for that. And then I narrowed it down to the creative potential idea and got some more keywords. And I then took these keywords and put them into Amazon. And I'll maybe do another video about Amazon keyword research in order to do that. So that's how I got the idea. And keywords. I think I found a set of keywords where there was a little bit of interest online, but not much competition on Amazon. And I could find a place where I could compete with a bit of luck. And I really love this subject because I am a creative person. I've always found creativity to help me through life. And it's helped me in my professional life. It's helped me in my personal life. And I really believe that people would benefit from this. Not just men, by the way. I'm writing the book for men because that's the kind of keyword I think that's going to sell on Amazon. But this book is really relevant for just about anyone. I think anyone at any stage of their life, of any gender, can use creativity and find it beneficial. Moving on, the next stage after you've got the idea is the plan. And that is just a skeleton plan, basically, of all the chapters and all the subheadings. It couldn't be more simple. And I got ChatGPT to help me with that. So then I went on to the planning stage and I asked it for ideas of content to go into the book. I'm not actually asking for the skeleton plan at this point, but there were a few things that I hadn't thought of, some things that were really obvious. And then I literally asked for the skeleton plan. And here it is, chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, introduction and conclusion. It's 13 chapters. I didn't really go along with this. I completely changed this around. I found some of these ideas quite boring and prescriptive and also quite repetitive. I went back and just did my own. I got in a bit of a muddle with the plan, and that's really my fault because I do tend to jump into things and start projects before they should be started. I get excited. I want to do something. This is my first attempt at a plan, and I got a bit muddled up in this part, and so I had to redo those first few chapters and move things around because ChatGPT does come up with a lot of kind of bland ideas, prescriptive ideas, and they tend to repeat themselves, and you tend to get a little bit lost with it all. And I found that just putting my human element in and thinking, no, we don't want to say this again, or just completely bore people, and moving things around, then I found I had a better plan to work with, better skeletal plan, and it was quite long, and I could easily see myself going through that and writing a book. When I was stuck writing a particular subheading and a particular section of the book, I just asked for some practical examples. First of all, I asked for some challenges, roadblocks in the way of men with the demographic. I asked for examples of how they might get around those roadblocks, and I combined that with my own thoughts in order to write these chapters of the book. And I went through the whole of the book like that to do it that way. Then the next stage comes along, and it's the research stage. And this is where you look into the nitty-gritty of the plan that you have. And you can ask ChatGPT various questions to come up with various ideas that will help you during this research phase. In the research phase, I wanted to come up with more examples of creativity that men could engage with, because I was just thinking of music, photography, writing, those sorts of things, acting. But there's a lot of other things. I mean, there's cooking, there's garden, landscaping, crafts, sculpting, pottery, fashion, of course, graphic design and art. I mean, there are loads. I was impressed with these, so I got 10 more ideas. Well, I got 15 more ideas the second time. And I would then take these and put them into Google and get some more information, and that would help me with the research phase. My first idea for getting ChatGPT to come up with stories wasn't very successful. I just asked it for an engaging story, either real or imagined, to start off the introduction to this book. Then it just said these really boring things that, in a dimly lit room cluttered with foreign trinkets and dusty memories. That just sounds like AI has written it, and it's not a real story. It's not believable. I can't see this engaging anyone. So I tried again, and it came up with Van Gogh, and I didn't really like that much. Finally, I hit on an idea. I thought of a story myself whereby creativity was used to have a breakthrough in somebody's life. And I remembered the story of Einstein imagining he was traveling on a light beam. And this creative thinking helped him come up with the theory of relativity. And can you think of any more interesting examples like this? And this one worked. This one really worked. I like the idea of Isaac Newton and the apple. I was enjoying these, so I just asked it to come up with some more. And I particularly like this one. I never heard of this story, but the guy who invented Velcro observed burrs sticking to his dog's fur. And there are other more creative examples than that I'm going to come up with that ChatGPT helped me with, like Frida Kahlo and Ernest Hemingway, and even Van Gogh as well. I can write these stories and intersperse them in with the chapters of the book to make the book more interesting and mix up the book's style a bit. But remember, you've got to check everything ChatGPT says when it's kind of factual, and you can go online and Google things and check them that way. Remember, I'm only using the free version. I have yet to stump up the $20 a month for the ChatGPT Plus version, which I probably will do at some stage. But for this book, the purposes of this book, it's about enhancing your creative potential. It's not really a lot that can go wrong factually with it that I can't put right with a Google check. So I'm pretty confident that I'm using the version I'm using of ChatGPT at the moment is pretty fine, because the next stage is writing. And now you're going to think that I got a computer to write this book for me, and that is not what I'm doing. I'm writing it myself. ChatGPT has helped me at every other stage of it, but actually the writing, it's just easier if I just do it myself. And for this, I'm using the iPad and on Google Docs. Google Docs self-corrects, and it can be annoying when it self-corrects the wrong thing. But at the moment, it's when I'm being really lazy. I touch type really fast, and I'll just spell with, IWTH, and it'll just correct that as I go along, and making the whole writing process so quickly. I've been touch typing for decades now, so I can just do it in a cafe. It's second nature. I'm just looking at the plan on ChatGPT, and I know which next subheading to write about, and I'm doing it. I'm just coming out with the paragraphs one after another, not really thinking, not editing as I go along, just writing. And it really is the easiest and most enjoyable phase of the whole process. And there's no way I would get ChatGPT to do this, because it's going to come from me. at the end of the day, and I want to do it. So then you go on to the writing phase, and I was coming up with loads more ideas, and I was thinking how AI could help men with creativity, as it was certainly helping me with creativity. And of course, it came up with some good ideas with that. You'll find that a lot of these ideas very bland and prescriptive, and they can be quite repetitive, but this is your job to hone these ideas and make it into your own, into a readable book. Because if you just copied and pasted this lot, but you'd just drive people to sleep, well, it probably wouldn't get past the Amazon content bots. So don't try that. So that's the nice and easy bit. And I'm doing that at the moment. But after that, there's a couple more stages. You have to edit what you've written. That's a little bit more difficult. I might be using tools like Grammarly or Quillbot. Don't want to pay for an editor, as I have done in the past, but I will take some advice from some KDP writer friends of mine to see how I can do that editing stage. But the important thing about the editing stage is you cut down the word count. I mean, I don't know what the final word count is going to be. Let's say my first draft is 25,000 words. I don't think it's going to be that much. But after the first edit, it'll be 20,000 words, because there'll be a lot of repetition. There'll be a lot of fat that you need to trim down. So the whole book will read a lot better with that first initial edit. And after that, I don't want to get through too many stages of edits. I want to do this pretty quickly, because I want to get onto the next stage. And the next stage after the editing stage is the formatting stage, where I will turn it, the Google Doc, I will then export as a Word document, and then I'll turn that into an EPUB or a Mobi for the Kindle version. I'll get someone else to do that. Hopefully it won't cost too much, maybe $10. And then I'll do the paperback version myself. And then I'm going to look into doing the audio version with the AI-powered 11 Labs website, where hopefully I can get the computer to narrate the book using my voice. I'll do other videos about the other stages of the book writing process. But I hope this helps you. And please, can you tell me, what do you think about the book subject, Unlocking Gen X Man's Creative Potential? Is it too general? Is it going to be hard for me to make an impact with the subjects of this book? And do I really know what I'm writing about? I haven't written a book for 6 or 7 years, and I'm getting a bit of imposter syndrome on this. I would love to hear your feedback about the idea of the book, as well as the process that I'm using to write the book. My name is Rob Cubbon. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.